Hi everyone, and welcome to Whole Latte Love live streams. My name is Zach.
And I'm John.
And today we're going to be going over, well, some drinks. In case you're tuning in later, today is Valentine's Day. So we're going to be making some syrups, some, kind of specialty drinks. And, John's actually going to be teaching me all of this along with all of you today.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget to subscribe to the live stream, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of these. Also, next week, be sure to tune in. We're going to do these live streams every Friday at 3 p.m. Next week, we're going to be learning how to brew like a champ. We'll get into that a little bit later.
And we do have our comments down below so we can see all of those. Hey there, Persepolis.
Persepolis.
Yeah, and I'm still going to struggle how to read.
Yeah,
the whole entire time.
Same here. So, at least we're in it together, though. But yeah, I'm excited to get into some cool drinks. We've got some nice recipes that we've worked on. We're going to make some simple syrups as well. In fact, that's going to be the first thing that we're going to do. We're going to want to let it simmer for about 20 minutes. So I was thinking we can get that going. But yeah, we're also going to make some ice drinks. We're going to be using rose, hibiscus, cinnamon, a whole bunch of seasonal ingredients that I think are going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget, if you're tuning in at a later date, you can make a drink for someone you love anytime, not just on Valentine's Day. So I think you're going to have some cool recipes to work with here.
All right, John. So you're going to just be telling me what to do here, or doing it, and I'll just watch.
Well, sounds good. Let's just go ahead and start. I think what we're going to do, we're going to make a strawberry simple syrup.
Okay.
Very simple recipe. A lot of simple syrups, by the way, are just 1 part water, 1 part sugar, right? That's it. And then you can infuse that with anything you like, whether it's vanilla or lavender. In today's case, what we're going to do is strawberry. So I've got some strawberries right here already cut up. If you're kind of a by-the-books recipe person, we've got 8 ounces of strawberries sliced. And you can do that by volume, not by weight, but I'm sure it's going to be just tasty anyway. Right here, I've got some sugar already portioned out. What we want is 1 cup of sugar. And since we're doing that 1-to-1, we need 1 cup of water. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this to the 2-cup line.
And we're just doing this right inside of our cup there, our measuring cup.
Yeah, you don't really need to worry about, oh, I'm going to pre-measure a cup of sugar and then a cup of water and then mix them. Don't worry about that. You can just throw them all in the same vessel here.
And it's always going to be kind of equal ratios when starting with a simple syrup, is that right?
Yeah. Yep, yeah, 1-to-1 is kind of what you want to do. And you can even use, I like sugar in the raw too. Like the, what do they call it? The turbinado. Thanks.
Yep.
We have Brian back there helping us with all the camera angles. And maybe we'll even make an extra couple of drinks for Brian too.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I like doing back at home as well is maybe using some panela, which is kind of like an unfiltered raw sort of sugar that you would have to then carve off inside there. It's very traditional in Colombia. I actually learned it from a Colombian farmer that stayed with me for a little while. And he would actually put it right in his pour over. So he would just melt that right in, just kind of cuts a lot of the bitterness inside there. So that's really nice to use as well.
I'll bet that was tasty.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I've never tried the panela thing, but it sounds like it can really sweeten things up a lot, especially if you're having a difficult day. Hey, Zach, you know what? Before I continue ranting, could you pour the strawberries right into our...
Right on in? Okay.
Yeah, right on in,
Got
yeah.
it.
Nice and gentle, maybe.
Oh, nope. I don't know anything gentle. Okay.
That's okay, me neither.
All right.
And I think I am actually going to turn this down just a little bit. I saw a little bit of sizzling.
Gotcha. So you don't want to really boil this at this time?
No, we want to simmer. That's all we want.
Gotcha.
And we want to do that for about 20 minutes. I've got a little timer on the screen right there. We'll be able to figure it out as we go here. So, but yeah, the panela thing, if you're having a difficult time finding vanilla, which sometimes it can be very hard to find, panela might be available.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because John and I actually come from commercial backgrounds, so we know how to make a vanilla syrup pretty well using those vanilla beans actually right behind you there. So John, maybe guide us through this, because this is kind of the base to a lot of our experiments, especially within the commercial specialty drink area of our expertise.
Totally.
We're always kind of starting with vanilla and then just adding in a whole bunch of stuff until we figure out something that tastes good as a special. I mean, at least that's my background of trying to figure out specials.
No, I agree. I mean, that's how it goes with a lot of the simple syrups that I've worked on too. You know, in fact, oh, hi everybody. There's a whole lot of happy Valentine's Day. Hi Rachel. Hi the Zen Ginger. Andrew's here too.
Yeah, monk fruit I have used before instead of sugar as well for that simple syrup base.
I've never done that. That's cool.
Yeah, so stevia, I have not tried that actually.
I don't see why it wouldn't work. You probably want to use a little less stevia because it's so concentrated. I don't see any reason why not though. Yeah. Experiment. I'll tell you what. Experiment. Tell us what you come up with.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what? While we can, do you want to show people what to do with this vanilla bean?
Yeah. So basically, with this vanilla bean, we could just kind of cut it open from here. I'm gonna try not to actually cut myself. So I usually just kind of cut the middle section here, and then on the inside here, there's a nice kind of goopy insides.
That's where the good stuff is, right?
That's where all the good stuff is. And what we would basically do is kind of scrape off this into, oh, there we go. We would scrape off this into then our base of kind of what we already started, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's where all the good stuff is. That's where all the seeds are, and you want to scrape that right into that simple sugar base, the one-to-one sugar and water base.
Yeah, now if you're super lazy, I just kind of cut it open and throw it in there. There's multiple different ways. Some people kind of prefer that as well, just to kind of soak up additional flavors.
Totally, you know, and I mean, you can even throw in that entire stalk, you know, not just the beans on the inside. Throw the whole thing in there. It's all full of flavor. So that's a great base for a lot of simple syrups. You know, even just like vanilla bean simple syrup. Just use that. Even mochas, a lot of them will have a vanilla base there as well. Some of the lavender syrups that I used to work on as well, sometimes there'd be vanilla in there just to make sure it tastes like something and not just, you know, a little sugar with some floral stuff. You want a little bit of that vanilla to kind of help with some of the viscosity and things like that and aromatics.
Definitely. So. And then helping out with that viscosity as well would be something like our Hollander sauces. So we actually partner with Hollander. You can find this on our website right now. Hollander's great. I've done lots of latte art competitions that they actually host throughout the US and around SCA expos, and this stuff is magic to pour in. And it's also magic to also mix with things that maybe are a little more acidic, because the Dutch chocolate process with this really cuts down on that acidity. So if you find yourself out there making any like espresso martinis and want to kind of cut that acidity that comes from the espresso and maybe mixing that with a vodka, this base can actually really do that. It helps a lot with texture, cuts down that acidity, and it comes through as a really nice dark chocolate instead of making it very sharp, I would say. So that's great. I usually like to pair the caramel with a lot of different apple ciders, any spices, cinnamon, anything like that. We're going to be using maybe the white chocolate today. I actually have no clue what John has in store with me today, so I'll be his tester. But we did get some recipes as well from Danilo Lodi, which we'll be trying out as well. I'm glad you brought that up, because while this is simmering, and we will keep an eye on it and just make sure it doesn't go too crazy or anything, and I just cranked up the heat a little bit. We'll stir it as we go. While we're working on that, why don't we work on a recipe that Danilo Lodi actually gave us? Sounds great. He didn't name it. I'm naming it the, what did I call it? The comfy caramel. The comfy caramel. Yeah, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that Hollander caramel sauce. Got it. And we're gonna dose some, we're gonna do a smaller drink. It's gonna be a little closer to like a cappuccino size thing. We're gonna steam some milk with the caramel sauce now. Okay, so straight inside my pitcher. Straight inside of it, yeah. Not a typical thing that's usually done. Here's why. If you're gonna steam any kind of sugary thing, syrup, something like that with your milk, you know how we're always saying purge your steam wand after you finish steaming? Very, very important when you have something this sticky. So just give it a good purge, and then maybe even pick up some Rinza from Ernex that will help clean out the inside of your steam wand. Yeah, this is also how I do my hot caramel apple ciders too. So you could just throw your hot cider or your cider right inside your pitcher. I usually do some like cinnamon or pie spices inside there with caramel, and it blends together so nicely. It's so delicious. It's amazing.
I love good caramel apple cider.
Yeah, so when we're starting off with something like a base, like a syrup, I typically like to go towards the low end of like maybe 15 to 20 grams. If you're just doing a syrup, maybe push it to the 25 to 30 mark if you really like something that's pretty sweet that'll really shine through like a 12-ounce or 16-ounce drink, and kind of change accordingly. Find what you like. Now, when you're pairing it with one of these custom syrups, definitely use less. Again, it's going to be a combination of ratios and flavors, and it's going to taste different depending on how you mix these all together. All right, so how many grams should I do with this?
You know, this is going to be the size of the drink that we're going to make.
All right.
Right, so this is a little closer to like kind of a cappuccino volume. Maybe let's do the 15 grams that you were talking about, not quite, 25 grams.
Whoop.
It's all good. We're going.
Nope, we're doing 20.
We're going 20. That happens sometimes. It's cool.
I thought I was skilled. All these years, haven't learned a thing.
You haven't been on the bar in a little bit. That's part of it.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I've been in the lab, testing some things.
Exactly.
So, yep. All right, so I have 20 grams of caramel now.
It's going to be okay. It's going to be a little sweeter. I don't hate that.
What do I need next?
You need milk in that pitcher.
Milk in this pitcher.
Yeah.
Got it.
Of course, not overfilling your pitcher is always important, especially when it comes to latte art. If you tuned in last week, you know that filling it up too much is not going to get you any good latte art because the art generally comes out last. So you might fill the cup up all the way before you've seen any art begin to form on the top of your cup.
So is there any espresso in this? Should I be making room for espresso, or should I be watching these marks on the pitcher and just going from there?
I think right where you are is just fine for what we have. I think we're going to have plenty of room for the espresso in this cup as well.
Okay. Cool.
We're right about there on the cup if you can't see it on screen.
And it is about 6 ounces of milk at this point. So
perfect.
You know why? Because Fellow tells me.
Really? There's
So
markings on the
6 ounces.
There's markings on the inside of that pitcher.
There is.
Fantastic. Yeah, look for that pitcher on the website as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll let you know how much milk you have. Why don't I get us a shot of espresso, and then I'll show you what the next step is. We're going to be getting into some cinnamon. Now, there's also a good reason that we're going to be using cinnamon. Cinnamon will boost your metabolism just a little bit, and that's going to help warm you up a little bit during these cold months. So that's kind of why we call it I sort of named it. I don't know if Danilo knows that. I named it the cozy caramel.
Oh,
so
okay, cool.
Yeah, it's just going to warm you up a little bit, and it's a very easy drink to make as well. Just grab some of that Hollander sauce, and if you got milk and coffee, then you're good to go. You can do this with us. So.
Perfect. And today we're just using our Crema Wave. I feel like it pairs a lot better with these kind of wintry month sort of drinks. I feel like a lot of the natural kind of chocolate, the nuttiness kind of comes through within these specific drinks, especially that chocolate, the caramel, and strawberry. I mean, 'tis the season today. Strawberries and chocolate.
And you know what?
I wouldn't ask for anything more.
Woo.
And we're boiling off.
Yeah, let's bring this guy down a little bit. That's all right.
Do I need to?
Yeah, let's
to
give it a
stir
little
this?
stir. Yeah, and I'm watching our shot extract while we do it.
Always doing too much at the same time.
I mean, this is just like it was in the cafes. You're doing, that we were working at. You're
Yep.
doing just a million things at once. And I think Rachel is tuning in as well. She knows this life as well.
Yep.
All right, I did 18 in. I want to get 36 out.
Gotcha. So we might need to go a little bit coarser on our shot here pretty soon here.
Okay.
Maybe. We'll see.
There we go. All right, I've got some espresso for you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and that was a little bit of a long extraction, but I was thinking we can make 2 of them because I get a feeling that Brian's going to want one as well.
Oh, okay. So I should probably start steaming my milk now, right?
Yeah, why don't you steam some milk and I'm going to get us another espresso so that we can get Brian all caffeinated too. Is that okay with you?
I hear just a large sigh
He's like, yeah,
coming off to my right.
it'll be fine, sure.
So today we're also using a Mechanica Max. So this is actually a heat exchanger, so we do still have that ability to steam our milk, pull our shots at the same time. I just have no clue what we're doing today, so I wasn't. No clue.
Well, you leave that up to me.
All right.
And there's nothing
Trusting
crazy.
your process.
Nice. There's nothing crazy you need to do with the steaming here. We're just going to steam just like you would for your favorite drink, a cappuccino or a flat white.
Ooh, it's kind of loud in there, though.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that kind of has to do with the viscosity, right?
Yep.
So it changes the viscosity. It's almost like hitting a wall with our pressure when we actually add anything in there. So don't be afraid when you add any of these sauces or syrups to your milk. It will yell at you a little bit, just like half and half will, but half and half's more so because you're running into a wall of fat globules.
This is
topic for a different time.
Second week in a row that you've used the word
fat globules.
Yeah. I don't hate it.
I like to consume a lot of fat globules on Valentine's Day. So. All right, so I'm just pouring right in. Are we doing any?
Here's what you need to do.
Oh.
Number 1.
There's rules.
I'm gonna take this off, and we'll just kind of like let a little heat out because we are a little bit bubbly here.
Can I pour?
Not yet, sir. Here's what we need. Check this out.
I'm running out of time.
Check this out.
Gotcha.
You want some of that? And you know what?
Got some cinnamon.
Every time I add some cocoa or cinnamon or anything like that onto my crema, it makes my latte art even more vibrant. So I'm going to be interested in how that goes here.
Oh, I'm going to mess up. All right. So
I believe in you.
A little high pour. I assumed that I could start pouring.
Yeah. No, you're right on.
Oh man, I really messed up there, but
it still looks nice though. I mean, no, check out your the super defined lines and everything, and that's exactly kind of what I want to see when it comes to something with cinnamon in it.
Yeah, you can get really nice definition on those that top end of my Rosetta, but
yeah.
You know, I hold myself to higher standards than this, so maybe we'll have to try again.
Well, you're about to get another chance, sir.
Perfect.
Here we go.
So I need to steam some more milk
Let's
right now?
steam some more milk.
I need some caramel.
Let's get some caramel.
All right, so we're experimenting, so maybe I'll hit 15 grams this time. Probably not.
Well, let's find out. You were heavy-handed last time. That's okay.
I hear that we should maybe use a Becerra Sole on the next live stream. I think we could maybe do that. Oh, nope, I still went to 20 grams. I really love 20 grams.
You're just a man who knows what he wants.
20 grams of syrup.
He's a man who knows what he wants, you know?
And it's 20 grams.
He wants it nice and sweet. All right. That was much better.
Okay.
Much better.
So you're saying Brian gets the better drink on this one?
I think Brian can get the better drink on this one. Now, let's see. I'm going to give this a little stir. And we're getting pretty close to the end here as well. In fact, we're looking pretty red, which is kind of what I want to see as well. The fruits look like they're kind of getting dehydrated or brewed, I should say. They're certainly not dehydrated. And all of the flavor is extracting right into the water, and that's kind of the goal of what we're doing here with a simple syrup. Now, I turned the temperature down. We don't have too many bubbles. I'm just going to put the lid back on, and that can kind of build some heat back up there. Now, I'm going to get you some cinnamon on this espresso.
Thank you, thank you.
You bet. And you're doing a latte art throwdown with yourself here. Let's see how number 2 goes.
Yeah. He's just trying to embarrass me. All right, so let's just work my milk here.
Work it a little.
Work my magic. Let's see how much better I can get here.
All right. All right, all right. I like it.
It's a little something.
I like it. You know, yeah, sometimes with the cinnamon, the base will not entirely show up quite the way it was without cinnamon. So, but I just think the contrast is just beautiful when you add like cocoa, cinnamon, things like that. In fact, a little later we might even use some mocha, and sometimes that can have a similar effect too. So,
yeah.
Brian, which one would you like?
I'll take the one on left.
Your
left?
left?
I'll take the tulip.
The tulip?
Brian's still contemplating, so.
All right, I'll tell you what. We're about 5 minutes away from being done with this simmering syrup. I'm just going to bring this up a little bit more.
So what is it again that you're making over here for me? Is it going to be an iced drink? Is it going to be a hot drink? What's pairing with this?
With this, that is going to be, you know what? That's the last drink we're going to make. So it's going to be a surprise.
Am I allowed to drink this one?
You can drink that one, please.
Awesome.
Now,
this is what I came here for today.
Now, I'll tell you what. I was actually going to put this in your court. I have a question for you.
Oh, lovely. I love questions.
Oh, how is it, by the way?
It's fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like a subtle caramel too. I would actually suggest more towards the 20 gram, just because I wasted a lot of milk and a lot of that caramel inside my pitcher. If you're pouring to exact amounts or you're measuring out your milk, maybe the 15 grams. If you expect some milk waste, maybe go towards that 20 gram on that. I think it was fantastic. And then the layer of cinnamon. That's a good old barista trick for some great latte art as well. My other trick is always a Hollander sauce as well. We'll give you that nice base for latte.
Yeah, every time I had to do a mocha, I got really excited because for some reason, maybe you know more about this than me. For some reason, chocolate syrup with the espresso creates a really great base for pouring latte art. So some of my best pours have been mochas, and I think there's a lot of baristas out there that would go, yeah, I agree. How's this looking?
I think it looks like
Close.
syrup.
Yeah,
right?
We're close to done. We got about 4 more minutes. Why don't we work on an espresso tonic, and then we'll come back to this and we'll work on our final drink, which is going to be a surprise for you.
Wonderful. All right.
If you saw the short that just played before the live stream started, you saw Zach making a rose simple syrup espresso tonic.
Yeah, with some interesting facial expressions too.
Yeah.
Pretty good acting on my part, if I do say so myself.
Well, I drank. I would agree.
But
I drank that one after we made it, and it was fabulous. So
oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm excited to do it again. What was the process for that? You were measuring some of this rose simple syrup that we have.
Correct. So I was just using a rose simple syrup, which you can also make in a pretty similar fashion, boiling down some roses, basically. And then you can add anything else you want to that. Typically with rose syrups, it might be a little too strong on that rose essence, so maybe some lavender inside there, some violet as well if we're going for this floral sort of vibe. Or, again, starting with that vanilla base. If you feel like something's a little overwhelming, start as a vanilla base, add a little touch of something else into it, and it'll just kind of bring out that essence a little bit more. There's also ways to do purees as well. So if you don't want to make more of a syrup base, ice drinks are a great platform for purees, which is basically just hot water, sugar, and mash up or blend some fruit.
That's it. And you would put like chunks in like an iced drink to have like a nice little treat at the end, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So one trick about using anything kind of bubbly too is the fact that you will see explosions.
Yeah.
So if anyone's out there has made any kind of bubbly drinks with espresso or anything like that, it can be quite reactive. So as I pour, I do like to actually kill off a lot of those bubbles. So I'm pretty aggressive with that pour purposefully, or I'm very gentle towards the end, or else that foam will start bubbling off everywhere, depending on the kinds of acids that are available within your coffee as well.
Oh, so it can behave differently depending on different coffees, but how are you going to know until you try it, right?
How would you know?
Yeah.
Typically, those lighter roasts will be quite explosive.
A lot of acids. That makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and tear this out. I'm going to use my rose syrup here, already made inside a nice bottle here. Again, when you make these syrups, they're only good for about a week and a half, a week inside the fridge. So make in smaller batches unless you're hosting or anything like that. And it's not too hard to make as you're doing other things. And it also smells wonderful.
This whole studio right now smells like strawberries. I'm loving it.
Definitely. All right, so with this one, I'm going to go a little bit lighter for this. Maybe I'll actually do 15 if I can read.
Not bad so far.
No, I'm going to do 20. I lied.
Yeah, let's sweeten it up. Why not? It's your favorite number now.
Yeah.
Brian's cracking up back there.
22.
That's okay, man. It's going to be all right. Now, would you do ice first, or would you do that after the tonic?
So I like to do ice first in the sense that you could actually see a little bit of layering going on. If you're adding in espresso, though, it causes people to want to actually then stir. And as soon as you start stirring in everything like that, that's when an explosion occurs. So with this syrup, typically I'll just do a high pour with my tonic next.
Oh, and that might help mix up the syrup as well.
Yeah, and we'll kill off some of those bubbles too that will cause that explosion as well.
Nice.
Which our tonic is disappeared off screen.
Oh, I suppose we did keep it in the fridge. That was probably a good idea. Nice.
Maybe. Let's see. All right, so here, as with everything else, we're only putting in good things, right? So try to pick some good tonic. I personally like the Fever Tree ones.
That's my preferred.
Places.
That's my preferred brand too. Yeah.
And it's all just about the ingredients of what we're putting in. If you put good stuff in, good stuff will come out. And then
that's my
into our mouths.
general rule with a lot of things anyway.
All right. So from here, we'll just go ahead and kind of high pour on this side. John, it looks like we have a couple questions.
Oh, sure. Really off topic, but if you're pre-infusing for, say, 5 seconds, do you add it to your total shot time? No. I would say, there's even some machines that will count up when you have pre-infusion programmed. Not all machines can pre-program pre-infusion, but for example, the ECM Mechanica Max, we don't have pre-infusion on right now, but when you turn it on, it starts in negative numbers and it counts up towards 0. When it gets to 0, that's when the pump fully turns on and you see the counter go up. Good question. The Mechanica Max is a super fun machine to play with. Nick, yes, thank you. Yeah, Persepolis, hopefully I'm saying that right. We are using the Mechanica Max, but the Synchronica 2 we've been using in a lot of the live streams from a few weeks past. So, and someone just got their, Matt just got their E24 today. Awesome. Hope you enjoy playing with it.
So as you can see, this is kind of killing off a lot of that, that CO2 within here, right on that first pour, and that's just going to help you not spill all over yourself.
Sure.
I probably could have done it purposely if we don't, but whatever's clever. John, if you'd like to actually now fill this up most of the way with ice.
With some ice?
Yeah,
sure.
And then I'm going to go ahead
Got some
and
tongs.
start pulling our shot, because on the top of this is where we're going to have our shot. And this is absolutely amazing for people that really like those, light, fruity, sweet drinks. It's as sweet as you want to make it. I think the quinine really mixes well with espresso. After all, there is already kind of a little bit of a quinine attribute to coffee itself. So I feel like a lot of coffees really pair well with tonic itself. Now, you will see this start to split if you want to make it a little bit creamy. If you add a little bit of half and half or anything like that, it could coagulate due to all these different kinds of acids happening. But if you do like to add a little bit of cream in there, this is another option to do so.
I've never done that. That's not with an espresso tonic, but if it works, it sounds really nice. Now, you're not wrong about the explosion that can sometimes happen with espresso tonics. We used to prank new baristas when I was working in coffee shops, and we would just have tonic ready to go, and we'd say, hey, finish up that espresso tonic for me, would you? Yeah, just pull a shot. You could just dump it right in. And they'll dump it right in aggressively, without the bubbles off-gassing or anything like that, and it would just explode everywhere. And of course we go, what did you do? But that's how these things behave. So you got to be careful with your espresso tonics. But this is also one of my absolute favorite specialty drinks. You see it on a lot of coffee menus when you go to specialty coffee shops and things like that. To me, there's nothing like an espresso tonic. So, and I also have a secret ingredient that we're going to put on top of the espresso tonic too, which I'm excited about. Yeah. You say, oh no, I say, oh yep.
All right, let's go ahead. Pull this shot. I have no pre-infusion on this extraction today because it is a pretty fresh crema wave too. Has a lot of restriction already.
Yeah, I think I have to tighten it up a little bit. But a ton of crema on this thing right now.
Oh yeah, entirely.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. Let's see what we have. Now this one I filled up quite a bit. Why don't I do this? I'll help you out.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't need too much. All right.
How's that look?
Are we decorating this at all?
Not till afterward.
All right, let's hope for no explosions. And look at that. It's like we know what we're doing.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Oh, sorry, I kind of left your slacking over there. That's fine.
It's okay. You know, I'll have the I'll have this one.
It's half calf.
Right. Now here is
I got
my.
really excited on this one. So.
Well, and you know what? No explosion. We seems like you really did a good job.
So as you top off this pour, you can always top off with a little more ice because sometimes I like to just pour over these top ice cubes to kind of immediately chill any of that espresso that's coming through as well.
Good point.
Always creates these really nice layers as well. As you can see, people will then want to stir at this point. It's kind of fine because we did a little bit of a high pour. So.
Right. Yeah. Now I have one more secret ingredient. I have some dried hibiscus flowers. Hibiscus? I hear it pronounced.
Hibiscus. I don't know, caramel, caramel.
Yeah, you know, tomato,
It's up
tomato.
for discussion in the comments.
Now here's what I'm gonna do. We're
Oh
just
man, straight with the bottle, not even hand first.
nah.
Wow.
Well, let's just.
We definitely
party.
come from like a commercial bar.
Yeah, you know it. We're partying.
Yeah.
Now the reason I wanted to do this is because right when you go in for that first sip, you're gonna smell all that hibiscus right there, and
So-
you're gonna get this nice aromatic experience, and then you dive into the flavor, and that's gonna change the entire experience. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Aroma and presentation, that's the key thing here. So I suggest out there, as you're presenting these drinks, maybe it's Valentine's Day, it's today, maybe it's in the future, and you're trying to impress someone, make sure you're in a nice, quiet environment. That also affects things. It's called sonic seasoning. I like to bring it up to John all the time. A loud cafe, your drinks will not taste as good as a quiet cafe. Very crazy fact, but it's true.
That's
Same
wild.
thing with like these aroma factors as well. It's almost useless unless you're in the environment for it. So if you feel like you can't taste this, smell this, maybe change your environment.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe
All
turn
right,
the
so
volume
everyone
down.
quiet.
Was I quiet enough for that first sip?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
definitely. I want to stir that in a little bit more because I definitely got a huge hit of
the espresso.
But the espresso and hibiscus without any rose, even just that, without any syrup, if you want to do without the syrup on the bottom, this is a great way to kind of trick your senses into thinking that this is something sweeter. So if you are cutting any of the sugar or anything like that, maybe focus more on what you're actually decorating your drink with.
Oh, yeah, interesting. I mean, you know, I kind of think of that like when I make a cocktail, I'll just take a little bit of, I'll take an orange peel and just give it a little spritz, and the oils go all over the drink and all over the cup, and that'll affect the aromatics of the entire drinking experience as well.
For
Now
some reason, everyone actually trusted me with the knife today, so I'm starting with the knife. All right.
You done good, but you know what? I think you did a good job mixing up the. I was being too loud for the drinking experience.
Oh yeah.
Better?
That's amazing. Oh, 100%.
I was going to
great.
say, you actually did a good
You can-
job mixing up the rose simple syrup when you poured the espresso, or poured the tonic really high.
Yeah. I'll stir yours in a little bit. You can try yours.
Oh, thank you.
It's not as great, but you know.
That's okay. I'll take the half calf.
All right, here's your half calf.
Hey, thank you. Well, cheers, Zach. Thanks for
Cheers.
thanks for making a drink for me. It
Oh
tastes,
yeah,
tastes so much better without me talking over it.
super refreshing,
Nice.
entirely, especially without your voice. You know.
Yeah, I mean, again, thanks. There's to me, there's nothing like an espresso tonic, and any other way that you can dress it up is always a lot of fun. We used to do lime espresso tonics with a little bit of orange bitters as well.
Definitely, yeah. So if you want that additional kind of acidity to this, I would recommend lemon, lime, anything like that. Again, watching out for explosions because you're adding some acidity to that. So that one can be a kind of a dangerous one. I recommend actually adding it to the syrup base itself and still going to that high pour. Or, again, just kind of like a cocktail, you know, just dressing the sides.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Spritz. So looks like we have a couple more comments down below, but we should also talk about what is next. Right?
Well, yeah, I think we're at the point where we're good to strain our strawberry simple syrup, and right here we've got a really nice funnel with a strainer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the trick I have for you, then this maybe applies mostly to this kind of strawberry simple syrup, but
I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm a little scared too, but you know, that's the fun. You don't want to press down on the fruit. That's going to make the simple syrup really cloudy. We want this nice, refined, clear-looking, beautiful red thing. I really wanted a nice, not only delicious tasting, but nice-looking, really red beverage for Valentine's Day. You know, something kind of pinkish, reddish. Another idea for this exact simple syrup, you don't need it for just coffee. You know, you can take like a lemonade, make like a strawberry lemonade, maybe put like a mint sprig in there. Just some more ideas just to show someone that you love them even during the summertime or spring or something like that. A lot of other uses for a strawberry simple syrup like this. Like if you like matcha, add a little bit of the strawberry simple syrup in there.
Oh, especially if you do more of a puree with that as well. I think matcha pairs really well with a puree. Peach purees as well, absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It pairs really well with matcha, and again, you can kind of steam your milk or go iced with that. So the
Nice.
layering effect too.
The layer, yeah,
It's all about
exactly.
presentation.
All right, we're just about there. We're kind of working our way down. I think by the time we're ready to use this syrup, everything else is going to be all set. So the question I have for you,
Okay.
we're going to do and this is the grand reveal, one of them. We're going to make a chocolate-covered strawberry latte. Now, you get to choose the chocolate. You could do white chocolate from Hollander or the dark chocolate from Hollander.
Ah, man. I think maybe we should do one of each.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
So let's go ahead and do one of each. I'll do a white chocolate and a dark chocolate.
Sure, yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good. And then we'll fight over who gets what.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think we should try either one. I feel like white chocolate is a little bit more themed. I think it pairs really well with strawberry. The strawberry might push through a little bit more, but I'm a sucker for like dark chocolate covered strawberries, and I kind of want that. So maybe a heavy pour on the dark chocolate and a light pour on the white chocolate purposefully for that. But we're about to find out.
Sounds good
Again,
to me.
Experiment and try everything.
Yeah, that's right, in the name of science or flavor. All right, so this is actually getting pretty close. I think we could probably go ahead and, you know, get some espresso going, start
All
dosing
right.
out syrups and stuff
So
like
I think
that.
for this, I'm just going to need some cups. So John, can you grab those cups on the other machine over there?
Sure. Just these guys right here?
Yep,
right.
definitely.
Very nice. Keeping them nice and warm on top of that.
Yeah, what was that other machine there?
That was the Gaja GT.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're actually going to be talking a little bit more about that in our next review.
That's right. Yeah.
So until then, we're just going to be making some mochas. So
Nice.
Let's go for it.
Well, why don't you get us some, one of them you wanted to go a little bit heavier, one not so heavy. Why don't you show us what you're doing there, and I'll get us some espresso in the meantime.
All right, so I think for this chocolate one, the dark chocolate one, I'm gonna go a little bit lighter with the actual dark chocolate and focus more on the strawberry side. I feel like it's gonna punch through, it won't punch through the dark chocolate as well as it would with the white chocolate.
Okay.
That's my thinking. Again, we're gonna figure it out.
Well, we're going to find out together. It's going to be fun.
All right. So 20 grams everything, right? All right.
Now,
so,
if you're going heavy in a cup that big, that's what, a 12-ounce cup or 10-ounce cup, I think?
yeah, so I'm gonna go
I wonder what heavy is for you with a drink that size.
18 grams is heavy.
Oh, that's my espresso dose, too.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Perfect. All right, so we have a 1-to-1 chocolate ratio, and we're just gonna add some strawberry syrup inside there
Nice.
until about 30 grams or so, just for consistencies.
How's it looking? How's that strawberry syrup looking now that it's kind of...
It blends really
it's
nicely
beautiful.
into the chocolate. I think I actually even want a little bit more. I might go to 35 grams. 'Cause,
Nice.
you know, it's Valentine's Day.
Dude, let's make it sweet.
Yeah, I want something sweet today.
Yeah.
All right, 36 grams. All right, so we have a nice 36-gram base. I think I'm ready for my espresso on that one. Now the next one that I'm going to prep here is going to be our white chocolate.
Nice.
All right, fresh white chocolate from Hollander. They're pretty great. They make them in Wisconsin, amazing people. Again, they do kind of events throughout the U.S. too. Lots of latte art events. That's how you know it's amazing to pour in and mix with.
Now, I'm a huge fan of white chocolate. I don't know if you knew this about me. So
20 grams of this. And then we'll go a little bit lighter on this.
sure. Now
Just
that's
30
because
grams.
the white chocolate flavor is going to come through really well. So. And
By a gram.
Yeah. Not bad.
All right, we'll see how this actually mixes with that white chocolate. Sometimes I'll just swirl it in the cup, but make sure you're just kind of prepping these cups beforehand and then either pulling the espresso straight into it or off to the side.
I've got one for you.
All right.
I've also got some milk dosed out. So if you like, you can go ahead and steam, and I'm going to get us another espresso for the other drink.
Again, so when looking at these syrups too, I like to use a little bit less of that strawberry too, because we're kind of waiting to see how acidic this kind of came out, because it might coagulate the milk. But we're gonna see how well we did our job,
Cool.
especially in the fact that this is nice still and hot as well. So as it cools down, you might find a harder time with that. Maybe use less strawberry, but it is pretty strong. So.
All right,
All right.
let's find out. You're really doing a latte art throwdown with yourself.
Yeah, I know. I should really leave it to you. Not having the best luck today.
Well, I'll tell you what. One of my favorite, I'll tell you what.
Tell you what.
One of my favorite things about the Mechanica Max is even though it's a heat exchanger, you still get really nice consistent temperature and you can brew and steam at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's not just reserved for dual boilers, that feature.
You poured me a lot of milk here. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some out.
Oh, I was just trying to mess up your pour.
Oh, naturally. Every time.
He's like, oh, thanks, yeah. All right.
All right, so I have this. Do I need anything else right now?
You know, you are good. We've got our chocolates, we've got our strawberry, we've got our espresso and our milk. This is a nice simple drink with a really nice, fresh, vibrant syrup. Let's see what we got.
Oh, nothing good.
Yes, sir. He's got a little left.
Top it off.
And last week we talked about that trick where if you're not all the way to the top of the cup, you still have some milk left, you can just pour in one spot, just kind of like right down at the bottom there.
All right, so we still had a pretty good texture. I didn't see any kind of coagulation happening. It's not curdling or
No.
anything as we pour.
Yeah.
So I think we had our ratios pretty correct, honestly. It's not too acidic or anything like that, so we can kind of use it freely now. So when
Sweet.
experimenting, that's a kind of a good test. See how it kind of mixes along with milk. If you're doing anything like grapefruit, super acidic, really watch how that pairs with milk.
Right, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. So far, we're looking pretty good. I don't see any curdling or anything like that. We'll see what happens with this
Next
one. Yeah, and I'll tell you what.
Oh, you wanted to pour this one, huh?
Well, I suppose I could. I might trust your milk dosing a little bit better than mine, though. I've got the the espresso in this cup. Just gonna give it a little swivel, and I'll keep it alive. I think I'm actually gonna try this latte while it's sitting here. That is so good. That is.
Wait, you tried my latte? Oh,
Yep.
I thought this was all for me today.
I mean, you're doing all the work. I'm just telling you what to do.
Oh, true. Did you want to pour this one?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what?
A little competition here.
I'm good. Yeah, let's have fun.
Oh,
I'll
you're
tell
going
you what,
to pitcher share.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going to pitcher
I'm
share.
just going to do a little bit of a trick here.
If you tuned in last week, you know that pitcher sharing can help with the consistency of your milk. It can pop a lot of bubbles, move things around a little bit.
Basically, he's cheating.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But, you know, if it looks nice, then call me a cheater. Whatever.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Wait, so
I don't
this
know,
is going
man.
to be my latte now?
You can have whatever you want.
Okay, I'm going to take all of them.
All right, nice. Now, I don't know how much foam is on this one.
Oops.
That's okay.
I knew you wanted to pour this one. I left you with nothing.
Looks good to me. Let's go.
A little short.
I think it's still going to taste fabulous, and I'm a huge white chocolate fan to begin with. So.
Yeah, and that one had an amazing texture to it as well.
Oh, yeah, you steamed it, you know?
Yeah, true.
Not too bad.
All right. So
Want to give it a shot?
Let's go ahead and give this a shot.
Nice.
Ooh. Yeah. White chocolate. The little hint of the strawberry. It's kind of like the back of your tongue. Now, if you want it a little bit sweeter, you can definitely do so. Maybe even use the leftover strawberries for something.
Yeah.
A little something there.
They're right here, yeah. There's certainly something you can do with that. You might even be able to make a compote or something like that with these strawberries. A lot of the good stuff has already been sucked out of it just by the heat. But do you mind if I sip out the other side of the cup there? I just have to see what this tastes like.
Fine.
I'm very excited.
All right, so since we have some comments down here, since you used a syrup mixed with milk in the pitcher, did you manipulate the steam temperature? What temp are we using? I think we're using it at a pretty high temperature. I think it was 277 on our steam temp. So pretty high pressure. I think in any environment, I like high pressure for basically everything. The higher pressure you are, the better chance you have of actually utilizing the surfactants within the appropriate time. Because these surfactants, this glue that kind of bonds a lot of this together, is only able to glue that together within very certain temperatures, and it's very fast. So we want to ensure that we're utilizing a high pressure to kind of glue it all. We're going to get to this at a different time. It's a pretty complicated one.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I want to get your take on this.
Yeah.
Especially because today we did steam with syrup. But regardless, whenever I'm doing a smaller drink like a cappuccino and I have a smaller pitcher rather, sometimes I like a little less pressure because I run into that thing where the milk is just shooting out the side of the pitcher from the pressure being so high.
Yeah.
Any concerns about the way that the fat globules, if you will, that you like to say, are they still going to wrap around all the air and make nice foam and nice latte art and all that?
I think that's when we're going to be relying more on the vortex to really create that bond. So with a smaller pitcher, it naturally creates a little bit faster of a vortex as well. As long as we have the correct penetration of pressure throughout all of that milk, then you're totally fine.
Cool.
I think you can still create a great texture if it does take you even longer as well, or you're giving yourself time, or you have a single boiler. It's still possible. You're just really paying attention to what temperatures you're infusing air, because if you're infusing it too late, those bubbles are really hard to knock out of the way, especially if you're mixing in with any additional sugars, fats, or any of these syrups within your pitcher when steaming. So that's why so many times you often see us putting in syrups before anything, and we're steaming milk along the side. Something like sauces make it a little bit easier, but again, like we said, it does make a pretty annoying noise as that pressure can't quite penetrate the full pitcher of milk because it's kind of stopping at those fat globules.
Interesting.
Can't penetrate as much.
Yeah. So the bubbles are having a more difficult time getting the fats to wrap around themselves around the bubbles.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. And of course, maybe we can do a live stream or a couple more videos on milk science, steaming science, things like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that'll be coming up shortly, actually. So we have a couple things in store for our next couple live streams as we're running out of time here. Next week, we're actually going to be joined by Danilo Lodi, where we're going to be going over some different pour-over techniques, specifically what pour-over techniques really make a champion. Danilo Lodi is very well known for actually training many champions and many winning world champions. And really, what does he pay attention to? What variables does he pay attention to when doing a pour-over? So that one's really exciting. Next week, next Friday, if you're tuning in later, that'll be posted to our YouTube. I believe that is on the 21st of February. I know what month it is. February.
Yes.
As well with some reviews of some up-and-coming products that you might have seen off-screen today. So we'll be tuning in more on that with some information shortly.
I'm excited about it, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut on it for right now, so you'll just have to tune in.
You should.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm very excited about talking to Danilo next week about how he would make a pour over and all the different variables that he thinks about. You know, I know what I'm thinking about when I'm making a pour over, or just, you know, coffee in general, you know, different rules and things that I, you know, maybe have learned, or ideas and thoughts that I've been kind of married to about, you know, when I go and actually make my coffee. I'd be really interested in what direction I've been led the wrong, or what I've been led the wrong direction in.
Yeah.
And also interested in what variables I've never even considered that he thinks about.
Yeah, so I highly recommend when tuning into next week's live stream, come in with an open mind. There's going to be a lot of different variables that might change your mind and what you've been thinking about before, or what theories are out there before, because these are all current things being brought to competitions that are happening in real time right now.
Yeah.
So a lot of interesting facts.
Yeah, he's in the coffee world, in the specialty world, in the competition world with coffee. Danilo is very well known, sort of a world famous dude. So we're very lucky to be able to do this with him next week. So I'm excited.
And I'm very lucky to be joined with you on Valentine's Day. And thank you for making some drinks.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing all the work for me.
Oh yeah, naturally. Every time, you know.
And hey, to all yeah, no, you're not wrong though.
Yeah.
Hey, to all of you for joining in, thank you so much for joining us today. And from whole Latte love to you, we want to say Happy Valentine's Day. Go make some drinks for someone you love.
Mm-hmm. Or whatever day it is now in the future. Yeah.
Any day.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
Have a good one.